YouTube channel. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing this lovely Monday evening? I am live once again in the evening. I will try and work on this schedule and I love live streaming in the daytime. So yeah, now that winter is creeping in, it just gets dark really early. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today's live stream is about the title of today's live stream is Choose Self Obsession over Self Sabotage. I know. So, a lot of women have been taught from growing up to that a good woman is that woman who nurtures and looks after other people and takes care of other people at her own detriment, the one who relegates herself to the background and looks after other people is a good woman. But trust me when I tell you that society does not have the same definition or expectation for the man. So society and most cultures are just as patriarchal as this bloody notion is. So today's video, I really just want to get into this and lay before you um, the evidence and impact effects of what one means and what the other of what both means really and what how they can impact your life, right? So we'll start with self-obsession. So what self-obsession means is you self-prioritize. You prioritize yourself over everyone, over everything, and you have self-love. You love yourself. You carry yourself and treat yourself with grace, love, and extraordinary care. That's really what self obsession means. And you are exactly who you think you are. You know who you are. You have self confidence and you attach a lot of value to yourself. It really is about self and self and self. No one will give you that self obsession. You give it to yourself. And that's why it's called self obsession. All right. And the flip side of it is self sabotage, where you think yourself like the bottom barrel of it all. You have no self value, very low self esteem as well. Again, you can see it's basically the same words repeating themselves. That's self, 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 right? No one does it for you. It is about you, and you're the one who begets that for yourself. So, for a woman who has self obsession, who is self obsessed, she, number one, she is leveled up. All right. A woman who's self obsessed is everything. But the first thing that you notice about her is that she's leveled up. She's well put together. Her appearance is put together. She attracts people who admire and drawn to her by her outward appearance and the way she carries herself, her posture, her overall look, and general appearance. She is leveled up physically, emotionally, psychologically, as well as mentally. So mentally, she is fit and healthy. She thinks of herself as very elevated as she acts as such, and she behaves and presents herself in like manner, right? And she is this live stream is not going to be a long one, you guys, because it's been a long day. But I promised I was going to be on here to myself, and I want to actually create a habit that I actually do what I say. When I say I'm going to be on today, I'm going to show up. So yeah, Rachel is a grown lady. I know. Talk about leveling up. You just show up. You're disciplined, right? So the leveled up woman, apart from her being the major thing and the main thing you notice about her immediately at first glance is that she is leveled up. Her appearance is always put together. She loves herself, and that self-love, that self-obsession shows particularly through um her demeanor, how she appears, how her clothing is put together, her makeup, her hair, everything about her is on point. and she strives and always she makes it a habit and a lifestyle to always appear that way. All right. So even from just that, you can already tell that this woman is a woman who not just is self-obsessed, but is also oozing of self-love, self-confidence, and self-value, because these things are interconnected. You cannot have self-love and then go ahead and have no self-value. They go hand in hand. All right. So sorry guys. So she is this human being, this extraordinary being who loves herself and is not afraid to show the world and everything around her that she loves herself and she is obsessed with herself. She is the main character of her life, and she's going to put herself first regardless of what happens, because she knows that she cannot give what she doesn't have, and she is aware that she is a taker. She receives. She has to be at peace and in her be resting in her sensual aura and in her feminine aura to be able to receive what life has got to offer. And she's confident in receiving that. She's confident in that receptive energy, receptive feminine aura and energy. Whereas the self-sabotaging woman is, first of all, she lacks self-confidence. She's not leveled up. She's still on about, lives her life wondering about what people will say, what people will do, what people will think. It's always about people and the other person. And that's why she's so easy to manipulate and to use, because she seeks that external validation. Whereas the first woman, the self-value, the self-obsessed woman does not care about what people think. It's her first. If she thinks this is okay, she's going to go for it. If this pleases her and makes her happy and makes her better, she's going to go for it. She's not considering what the other person or Mr. A or B is thinking. Whereas the self-sabotaging woman is always thinking about what other people think. She always thinks, what would that man think if I ask for this? If I say I do not want to go on a coffee date, what's he going to think? If I ask him for this, how's he going to see me? It's all up in her head, right? And that's, you can see it's such a vast and mountainous difference, really. It's a world of a difference between these two women, right? So by just saying this, introducing these two characters, who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's the one who society calls, quote and unquote, a good woman? Or do you think it's the one who values herself and puts herself first and prioritizes herself over everything else? Because trust me, when when it hits the fan, society is not going to come to rescue you. It's the same society that makes fun of women who wallow in low self-esteem and all of that. It calls them all sorts of names. So society will not come to your aid. Culture, this patriarchal cultures won't come to your aid. It's you. You are the one who decides. You are the one who either enjoys the fruits of thereof or suffers the effects of whatever decision it is you make and or take. So let's go into the fruit of self-obsession. First of all, the fruit of self-obsession is, like I said, self-value, but it also opens up a door, just a massive gate of opportunities. You are exposed to so many opportunities because you have self-belief, you have self-confidence and self-value, and therefore people who look at you, they're drawn to you, they want to know you, and they want to impress you, particularly men. And because they want to impress you, they're going to bring to you things that they know, opportunities, and just ideas. And they also will give, they'll pour into you because they want to impress you. And when you're put together and leveled up, a man who wants to come into your life knows that this one, I have to come correct. They have to come correct to be able to impress you. And so they bring ideas, they share their resources, their network and net worth with you to impress you, just so that you agree to be with them. And so all of that just opens up a world of opportunities to you. It gives you, not only are you stacking on your finances, it's improving your personal finances, because this man are going to share their finance, their net worth with you. All right. We're talking about high value, high achievers, successful men, provider men. And when they share that with you, yours grows, right? Your funds, your money, your savings, your investments, they grow. Your business, all right? They grow because you have people who are pouring into you. Just because you are put together, you're leveled up, you're self obsessed, you put yourself first, you prioritize yourself. So they give to you, they want to impress you, right? The second thing is that you are in abundance. You have abundance of peace, of joy. You're relaxed in your energy. You're not in fighter mode. You're not constantly fighting or anxious for what tomorrow, or how to pay these bills, or how to, after you take out money from your wages, your monthly wages, to pay your bills, nothing will be left. So you're anxious and worried about what tomorrow is going to happen. How can I do this? I can't purchase. I can afford that, because you are well provided for. You, you have provision coming from several angles, right? So you are in abundance rather than lack. You are settled. You're in a settled feminine aura. You are in abundance. You just bask in it. You have your needs met. It's not something you lose sleep over. So you're not stressed. And in turn, that makes you glow from inside out. And it also makes you have a very attractive aura around you. You have a magnetic, attractive, sensual, feminine aura around you, which makes people want to come around you, which makes provider men who want a woman who is feminine and sensual. It draws them to you, and it means you get more. You continue to just grow and descend that advancement ladder, or whatever you want to call it, right? this is these are things, that habits, that and results that you can never take for granted, or never overlook or undermine, right? The woman who self-obsesses has these things easy. They come to her so easily, and she does not have to struggle or always fight to have it, because what she has chosen to put herself first. And whoever comes around her sees that she has boundaries, and she owns that persona. She does not trade it in for a quick and urgent need. She's so settled in herself, right? And the next one is that abundance in from providers leads is really draws from her self priority, but it also creates personal growth. So she has goals. She wants to start this business. She wants to start that. You are have been planning to start a business, to start an online business, or whatever, to start a whatever, drop shipping, an online store. There's abundance caters to your needs. It caters to your goal. If there's a dress you want to get, if there's a luxury item you want to purchase, a nice car, you want to upgrade your car, you are able to do that, because you know what, you have provider men in your life, people who are drawn by that sensual magnetism. They provide for you, they pour into you, and they do so gladly, and because they find pleasure in your presence. They look good when they're with you, right? They look good when they're with you. That singular privilege of looking good when they're around you also fuels their masculinity. What man wants to be with a woman that does not make them feel like they're flying, right? So your personal growth is top up there because you have provision, you have resources, you have provider men in your life who are pouring into you and providing for you to be able to achieve those goals, to be able to pursue those goals, to be able to run a business instead of work for someone. And this many aspects of self prioritization for this woman are what always places her above the basic woman, above the woman who decides to be, um, to self sabotage, who decides to be a good woman, right? So, um, another part of this woman that you cannot ignore is the joy that she lives in, the joy that she mirrors, the joy and the peace that come with prioritizing herself. Because again, she knows the value of herself and puts herself first. People who come into her life also respect that. And they know that if they're going to stay, they must do right by her. They must provide for her. They must impress her. And how do you impress a woman who's leveled up? It's by providing for her, it's by pouring into her, right? So that pouring into her yield leads to joy, yields to a relaxed aura, a peaceful aura, a joyful aura, which in turn magnets and draws people, successful and established men and well-off men to her, because she's always at peace with herself. She's always radiating joy, sensual feminine aura, confidence, self-value, happiness. She's relaxed. She is not constantly in fighting mode, calculating, mentally calculating, you know, what's tomorrow going to be like? What do I have left? What? No, she's relaxed, right? She also, she has better mental health. Mental and physical health can never be um, underestimated, because without them, without mental and physical health, you really are nothing. So that woman, because she is so well looked after and cared for, and she puts herself first, she looks after every tenant of her life. And whatever she receives, whatever is poured into her, whatever positivity and financial value is poured into her, she sort of, you know, mold sends it to every tenant of her life. Every aspect of her life resonates with what comes into her. So she cares for her mental well-being, she looks after it, she exercises to keep fit, she exercises to be mentally alert, and as well as be physically fit. She also looks after herself by eating right, trying to eat things that will keep her healthy, that will nourish her skin, her mind, her body, and her spirit. She pays attention to the little details, because those little details matter and they go a long way. So, this is what the self prioritized woman does. The woman who wins, the woman who strategizes her life and prioritizes herself and sees herself as the main character, and always chooses herself first. This is what she does, and this is how she wins. These are the effects of her decision making. All right. She is healthy mentally and physically. She radiates peace. She has boundaries, healthy boundaries that only let people who are um there to uplift and pour into her life. All right. She only lets people who add to her life to come in. She's not attracting junk and brokies, and she does not value people, seek external validation. She's not out there thinking, I need to know what he thinks. What would he think? What would they think? What would they say? No. If she is happy and at peace, she does what she wants. She does what is good for her and what is healthy for her. All right? She is about herself first. And that's how she keeps winning. Now, let's talk about the woman who self sabotages, the one who craves to be a good woman by societal standards, So first of all, this woman, for the reason why she self sabotages is that the reason why you self sabotage, you a desperado woman self sabotages is because she has low self esteem. All right, low self esteem, and it's from that seeking of external validation, because society can wake up today and tell you that a good woman does not do this, a good woman does not seek to be beautiful, and the moment you realize that, oh, that sort of washes away or chips away at your good woman title, you sort of quit trying to be beautiful so that you can fit that narrative of society. Does it make sense? You are so absorbed, you are so obsessed with pleasing society and the people and the things around you that you always relegate your desire and your wants to the background, and therefore it affects your self-value. You have very low self-esteem and you think very little of yourself, and that is why you consistently and always pick people's opinions over your desire, and you over your want, what you want and think about. You always seek and accept other people's decisions over you, over opinions over yourself, over yours, and that continues to reduce you until you're scorched flat below. So when you walk out, you can't even hold your head high. Your body posture is bad, and you cannot even hold a conversation and look the person in the eye because you have no self value. Right? This is what this is a main aspect of a woman who self sabotages. Right? She has no self value. She has not leveled up because she is worried what people may say. Because someone would walk up to her and say, "Oh, you've changed. Of course, you've changed. Oh, you look different. Of course, I didn't buy makeup so that I could look the same." But she's not grounded in her own individuality. She's about satisfying people and trying to be what is acceptable. She wants to be digestible, right? And that is why her self esteem suffers. Her self value is um almost at zero, because it is always about other people. It's always about the brokey she's dating. It's about the brokey who she's allowing into her space and the junk that she attracts with it. All right. Second thing is also about negative experiences. Women who sabotage, most times they've had a bad experience, either from abuse, neglect as a child, as a young child, or just bullying. So it's different issues, but negative experiences oftentimes contribute to women sabotaging themselves, either from the young age they are told that you can't do this, they're bullied, they're abused, and all of that, and they can't let go because of that hurt. They cling to that hurt and to that, that those scars, and they can't let go. And because they can't let go, there's no room for growth. All right, I'm not going to go deep into those negative experiences, but what you have to know is that almost everybody you encounter has had a negative experience. Some worse than others, but still they have experienced something that is torturous or something that is disappointing or has broken their heart or spirit in one way or another. Again, there are different levels to this thing, but every person you meet has encountered some level of disappointment. The difference is some people choose to move on. They know that there's no growth in that place, in that darkness, in that valley, and so they have to move. Whilst others are just content with clasping and clawing at those scars and embracing them and keeping themselves safe, but it is never safe. It's just that place where it's a stalemate, and nothing really happens in there. It's just dark memories and those those negative wounds and negative experiences that just keep eating at you and chipping and taking everything that it is that makes you who you are supposed to be, and it leaves just an empty skeleton, a vague wannabe human being. The second one I would say is the comfort of being a basica or a desperado. Some of you have been with basic and dumpster man and broke for so long that you have made that part and parcel of your life. You're so comfortable in that place in attracting those sort of men that you don't think that there is nothing, you don't think there's anything outside of that. You make yourself believe that you have sort of, what's the word, you have encouraged yourself, you have hyped yourself into believing that this is the best and this place is comfortable. You find so much comfort in that brokey situationship or whatever it is you call it. And so it prevents you from seeing outside of the box, from seeing that there are people who can actually add to your life positively rather than take, or rather than drive you down a downward slope. You prefer to be with men who are a burden rather than an addition and an upgrade. You have gone to that point where you lack self value and self esteem, and you wallow in that low self lack of self confidence, so much so that you are willing to be with just this place. You've made it a place of comfort. It's a comfort blanket that you embrace. You just wrap yourself in, and you're okay. You tell yourself that at least you've got a man, huh? And that is better than being alone. Lies, very big lies. You're better off alone, single, than than to be with a broke, a man who brings nothing, who adds nothing to your life, who takes and sucks you dry. It's like it's a predator sort of relationship where they suck out the juice, they just suck out the good from you and leave you an emptiness and go move on to another one, or until they encounter that woman that demands change, demands provision, that demands something different. All right. So you are comfortable in your basic hood. You are okay. You tell yourself that it's okay. And there are so many people who are alone and you are different because you've got a brokey. Nothing. It does not do anything for you, your self-worth. It only further sabotages your person, your persona, and leaves you wanting more, and yet being afraid to say to yourself that you want and need and deserve more. Right? So the next one is lack of emotional discipline. Again, you a basic a woman who self-sabotages, who puts other people before her, is constantly worried about what will happen if this, what will happen if this. She has not let her mind imagine the abundance that women who who prioritize themselves and put themselves first, encounter, what they have in their lives. She's constantly thinking about lack. It's a lack mentality, it's a poverty mentality, it's a broken mentality, it's a basic mentality. And so her emotions are always easily triggered when she tries or attempts to think that maybe I can do better. Her emotions are just so engulfed by this poverty mentality that she cannot think. You can't just think about anything better, having a better man, attracting a better man. All you are worried about is that if I let go of this one, this brokey, this basic man who's doing nothing for me, then I'll be alone. Why are you so worried about being alone with when the one you're with is doing nothing? He's contributing nothing. He's not adding to your life in any way. He's just taking, he's just sucking you dry. Why are you worried about losing it? It's because you lack emotional discipline, right? You do lack emotional discipline, and you need to not be so easily triggered. What you need to do is to let go of the dust and let go of that dumpster man, that broken man, and that broken man will let go of you as well. You will just be purged of all the dumpstering and the order that comes with being in a dumpster. You let go of this thing, and then you will be ready to move on. And then you can at least start to rebuild your mindset. Because a lot of this, like I said earlier, has to do with mindset. Because you have made yourself comfortable in that place where nothing happens, your mindset is down the gutters. You're so easily triggered. This one looks at you and tells you that you can't do better, and you believe them. How can you believe somebody who tells you you can't do better? You believe them, and then you just continuously repeat that to yourself, and you believe it. So if this man is telling you you can't do better, how about you let him go and be with yourself and try to rebuild yourself? But because you're not emotionally disciplined, you stay with him and let him abuse you verbally, mentally, and just sometimes even physically, because you do not put yourself first, because his words hold more water for you than your words or your thoughts. So he just continually abuses you and tells you and makes you feel like you're nothing, you will not amount to nothing. He makes you think that he's doing you a favor being with you, and you believe him. You believe that you can't do better. So the more you stay with this man who is a brokey, who is a no do gooder, who is telling you that he's your best chance and your best shot, the more you self sabotage, because you are in such dire need of external validation. The only validation coming to you is negative validation, validation that puts you down, that tells you that, oh, you're nothing without me. Even though you know this man is bringing nothing, he's adding nothing to your life. He tells you that you can't do nothing without him, and you believe him. That's the danger of that external validation. That's the danger of allowing external nothingness into your life, right? Because look at this. Let me give you an example. A woman who is driving a Porsche or a Bentley or an Aston Martin on the road is not going to wind down and um, wait for other road users to say to her, "Oh, your car's good," or a man to say to them, "Oh, your car, you've got a dope ride. Oh, that is a mad car." No, they just know what they have. They know what they carry, right? They know that they have invested that much into that car, so they do not need anyone to come from outside and validate that car for them. They know what it is. They know how much they have put into that car. They know the value of that car. But when you need external factors or people to come and tell you who you are, you're reliant on them, and your existence is really on them. You're putting authority and power in their hands. So if they wake up today and tell you, "Oh, you know what? I've woke up today on the roadside, you're ugly," you're going to believe it. And then you're going to go about mooing and looking all sheepish because some no do gooder, some brokey told you that you're ugly. You have to choose to exercise your self confidence, your self value, your self knowledge and worth over every other thing. Because people will always have opinions. It's just that's just what it is, opinions. And only you can make those opinions count. Because opinions are like a mouth, everyone's got them. Particularly in this time of social media, everyone's got an opinion. What you choose to believe is what is going to work for either work or damage you. And in the case of a self-sabotaging woman, she chooses to go, you keep going for the one that damages you. All right, opinions are just what they are. Until you accept them and let them affect you, they are just what they are. But what the self prioritizing woman does is that her opinion is the one that is the biggest and holds truth. Everything is bottom of the barrel. She doesn't give life to it. But the self sabotaging woman gives a life to her, to these external opinions, and they are not positive. So you can see that they continue to drive her down on a downward spiral. She continues to wallow and go further down because what she's letting into her spirit and energy is all negative. Um, the next one is that the results. Let's talk about. So we talked about lack of self-discipline. Let's talk about fear because of all of this junk around you. This woman who has not who self-sabotages rather than self-prioritize. She has got you've got a lot of fear, the fear to live, the fear to live, the fear to leave, the fear to breathe, the fear to be, to allow your individuality to express yourself, the fear to grow. Because if you start growing today, you start attempting to level up, what are they going to say? What is this broker going to say? What will um your neighbors think? They will say, oh, you've changed. Of course you've changed. You don't level up so you remain where you are. You don't buy makeup so you look like you're not wearing makeup. Heck, I'm not going to splurge 300, 500 pounds on makeup products just so I look the same. Am I crazy? That's wild, right? So, of course, you are going to change, but you have to be comfortable with change. With change comes goodness. With change comes abundance. With change comes self value and opportunities, right? So, fear is something you must let go of if you're going to move from self sabotaging to self prioritizing. You must let go of that fear. You must find a way to lock out the noise and the opinions of others and value your own opinion above every other thing, right? You must prioritize your voice, the little voice, the loud voice in yourself. You must be willing to go for change and damn what any other person says. Oh, you're changing. Oh, you were not like this. That's all right. You know what? People will only like you as much as far as they can get so from you. They can use you. The moment you start shedding off that skin that allows them to use you, they begin to grunt. They begin to grumble and tell you, "Oh, you didn't used to be like that." When people start telling you you didn't used to be, you weren't like this, you didn't behave like this before. Take it as a compliment. It means you are moving. It means you're making progress, and that progress is hurting people. That's what you want to be. Growth means that you will outgrow the place you are and move to a different persona. But a lot of you want to grow, but you want to hold on to that old personality. It doesn't work that way. Take, for example, if you buy a rose bush today and you look after this rose bush so much, you cater to it, you give it nutrients that make it grow and blossom, right? 6 months from now, what do you think that rose bush will need? Do you think it'll be still able to stay in the same um little what's it called vase? Would it still be able to stay in the same little flower vase you bought it in, or a flower a little container? You would need to transfer it to a bigger flower vase. It will need more space to grow and spread its wings. Only humans think that they can grow and still retain their old persona. You have to let go of certain traits and habits, and that first and foremost is to let go of pleasing other people. It is you who is number one. It is you who, if you're happy, you're if you find pleasure in the results, then you must embrace them, right? You must embrace them, and you must and you must really, really appreciate your growth, because no one else is going to appreciate it for you. If you are particularly around people like that, most of what you're going to be hearing is that you are undeserving. You're changing this. Oh, right. You weren't like this. Oh, yada, 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 yada. But you want to change. That's what you want to do. You do want to change, because there is no progress in that prison, in that prison of self-sabotaging, that prison of pleasing other people. There is no growth. It's not for you, it's for others. How can you live your life for others? Right? You answer that. Are they living their life for you? How many of them check on you before they buy a particular eyeshadow palette? How many of them check on you before they purchase the dress they'll have on their shopping list? How many of them decide to consult you when they're thinking of changing their hair color? Right? Are they asking you for permission to do these things, to make personal changes? Why should you? Why should you be concerned about other people's thoughts and opinions? Why should they hold weight over your opinion? All right? I'm not going to drive it further. Kill the fear, and you will find the confidence to start to attempt to level up. Kill the fear, because fear is nothing, it's the biggest enemy. Fear will put a garment of gloom over you, and that garment of gloom will hold you in a stalemate and never let go. That's not what you want. So the effect of that self-sabotage is, number one, the flip side of what the self-prioritizing woman gets is what you get. So you have a lot of missed opportunities, because one, you're fearful, you are a bundle of fear and nerves. You, even when you're in public, you can't express yourself, and it shows through your body language, your body posture, and all of that. So you miss opportunities. Even when you encounter men who can add to your life and improve your life, you do not let them, because you are so worried about what people will say. You're so worried about what people will think, and so you let go and lose opportunities. The other one is ignorance. You go about in ignorance. You think the world starts and ends with the broker you are with. You ignorantly refuse to open the door to learn and see, live with the times, and see what being with someone who can actually add to your life can do to you. So you're stuck in that ignorant phase with that broken man who keeps telling you that you can't do better than him, and you let that sink into your spirit and into your energy. So that ignorance continues to pull you down. You can't do better. You just carry on wallowing in that ignorance, and it just takes away your individuality, because all you know is and believe is what he tells you, right? That's all you do. Number three is that your life is an unprogressive life. You're in a stalemate. You cannot see progress. You don't think about things like changing your style, or improving on your wardrobe, or improving on your makeup skills, because again, you are worried about what people will think, people's opinions, people's thoughts, his thoughts, the brokey's thought, because he does not. The last thing this brokey wants is for you to outgrow him. Imagine if you do effect those changes, if you put all these changes into effect, and then of course you outgrow him, of course you will know that you deserve better, and then you leave him. You think he wants you to leave him? No, ma'am. No, darling. He does not want you to leave him. Hence, while he will do everything to put you in a chokehold where you think that this is the best I can do. So this unprogressive life that you have allowed to envelop, envelop you is as a result of fear, is as a result of external validation and external opinions, and self-sabotaging, and putting yourself last, and putting other people first. All right. So you must see that the only way you can get out of that stalemate is when you are willing to start to do the work. And it starts within. That's why it's called self-sabotaging or self-prioritizing. It starts and ends with you. All right? It's you. Only you can do it for yourself. Um, Another effect is stress and anxiety, because you have nobody who is helping you. You have the man or the men around you are only takers. They don't add in any way to your life. You are constantly struggling and in fight mode. You are always worried and anxious of what tomorrow, of how you're going to make this a meet, how you're going to get this done, how you're going to fund this little business idea you've got, because everything around you is not um result oriented. The men around you are just meh. They're dumpster men, they're brokies, and you are a basicer. So you can't see past the situation that you've allowed to take hold of your life. So you are constantly anxious and worried and stressed. And so you're aging. That's another thing. That stress and anxiety ages you way, way beyond your age. It ages you prematurely. It affects you, not just mentally, psychologically, as well as emotionally. So you've become a manager of dumpsters rather than a manager of money, of funds. All right. Your peers are out there managing money, huge investments and money and their businesses, and you're managing a dumpster man. So you have to choose whether you want to keep self-sabotaging and managing a brokey dumpster man, or you'd rather manage investment and your business and your leveled up life. This is your decision. It's self, it's a self deciding moment for you. And I hope that this video helps you to make that decision. All right. That low self value, where you continuously choose broke men who have nothing to add to your life. Is that, let me ask you, when you choose men who are like this, what is the goal? Because if you say it's for marriage, do you want to have kids where they can be barely able to feed, who can be barely able to? Children are expensive, just like women are. Children are expensive. If you need a wet nurse, if you need wipes, you need pampers, you need baby food, you need daycare, you need crash, you need all of those. How are you going to afford them if you were this broke man? How are you going to afford it if you procreate and have kids with a man who cannot afford even to provide for you? If he can't provide for you, how is he going to be able to provide for a child? So these are hard questions that you must ask yourself. All right. These are hard questions that you need to ask yourself. And when you answer them, that should be able to make you realize that you need to start self prioritizing. You need to go for what you want. You need to write out a new set of goals entirely and start to tick them off. All right. And this goal should always start with you. What do I want? Does this do this for me? Does this add to me? Does this benefit me? It's about you. It's about nobody else. All right. The women who are suffering from um, financial abuse or domestic violence, it's them. It's not anybody else. The people who advise them, who said things like, "Oh, a good woman stays," they're not there with them. All right. So nobody is coming to save you. You have to decide to save yourself. And I will end with this, one of my favorite sayings. My favorite quote, I would say, you know the difference now between a woman who self-prioritizes and the one who self-sabotages. The other one wins always, she always wins. Whilst the other one is in a lose-lose battle. There's no winning for her. But I will leave you with this one word, one for a sentence I will say. Go for gold, ladies. Go for gold and go for glow. Aim high or don't aim at all. If you are going to aim for the bottom barrel, then it makes no difference. You might as well choose to be alone. All right, because we're alone, you are carrying just your burdens rather than carrying another person's. All right, so go for gold and aim high, or don't aim at all. And if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share the live stream, share the video. I will be back here tomorrow, and see you in my next live stream. See you tomorrow. Bye. Cheers.